Hey guys, Taylem here. Welcome to another episode of my Skyrim modding series. Now the mod we're going to cover today is a very important mod for my playlist. It is also on the Skyrim Revisited Legendary Edition list, and it is something you should all have, and that is the Alternative Start mod by Arthmoor. Now what makes this mod so amazing is the fact that you can select one of several, and when I mean several, I mean at least a dozen different starts to your character based on the kind of character you want to play. You can do the vanilla start, which has you in the wagon, but you're probably curious, well, can I do the main quest line then if I choose one of these other starts? And it says, well, of course you can. All you have to do is you go to Helgen, you got to find a burnt book, which basically tells a story of a guy who was in the wagon instead of you, who ended up getting roasted alive by the dragon. That little book leads you to the exit cave from Helgen, where you get the choice of saving either Ralof or Hadvar, and that of course sets you on the path to getting the Stormcloak or Imperial starting quest. So the only part of that entire sequence that's different from vanilla is the fact that the Hadvar and Ralof spoken dialogue inside the cave has no voiceover. It's just text on the screen. You know, it's only, I'd say, maybe 6 lines total. It's really not that immersion breaking, so you just gotta kind of go with it. But once you get outside the cave with either Ralof or Hadvar, the scripting's basically all the same. You know, you run with them to Riverwood, you meet their families, etc, etc, etc. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at this amazing list that I'm gonna have fun selecting what kind of life I want to start for my character. I can start on a ship, which I believe is kind of a merchant ship that's moored at one of the major cities. I can own property in one of the holds. So this is kind of a cheat selection, because, you know, it automatically starts you out with one of the homes inside one of the big cities, something you normally get only when you're Thane. So if you just want to immediately jump to that for the roleplay of your character, you can. I mean, it's not going to be too big of a cheat, but there it is. As a member of a guild, basically you start out as a companion or a recruit for the companion. You load the game inside the companion's mead hall, where you watch the initial fight between what's her name, Najarna, and the dark elf fella. And then of course you can be just a patron at a local inn. Now this inn is randomized. You can appear at any inn across Skyrim, which is pretty cool because you never know where you're really going to end up. You can choose a soldier in the army. You can end up being an Imperial or a Stormcloak, but I believe it's predominantly Imperial. I'm pretty sure of that. I would have to test it out. Now this is the vanilla start. You know, you got caught crossing the border illegally. And before I go any further, what is also really nice about this particular mod is that, let me just escape here, is that it allows you to go into your mod configuration and set up all your settings before you actually start the game. So the game is started with most of your mods active and acting the way you want them to, which is a pretty nice feature that you don't get in the vanilla start.
Approach, my child, and choose where your new life shall begin.
Another cool option is you want to escape this cell. This makes you in this cell as your cannon starts. This little chalice that you see on the side here, a key will appear in there, which you use to open up the cell door, and then you'll be able to explore the drowned remains of this dungeon with a little story of what happened there. So that's pretty cool too. You can actually start as an outlaw. Basically you start as a bandit, and the bandits don't hate you, but city guards tend to, so it makes for an interesting attempt to do the main storyline when you're a wanted outlaw. But it's a new way to play the game, and for those of you that want to rise to that challenge, you can. And then of course you can be vigilant of Stendarr, which starts you out in one of the Stendarr temples, which is also pretty cool. This is one of the ones of my favorite. Camping in the woods. Basically you're like a hunter, just off in the woods somewhere. I believe it always starts pretty near Helgen, so you're just there at your little campsite, witnessing this dragon battle from a distance. It's pretty cool. Now, shipwrecked off the coast. This is one of the hardest. I mean, it's only really hard if you use the Frostfall mod that makes weather and cold water potentially lethal. Yeah, it is very hard to get off that shipwreck boat without dying, because you have to navigate through icy cold waters and then deal with the nasty creatures that could be at the shore. So it's actually really, really cool, but it's a real challenging start. And here we have a vampire in a secluded lair. Pretty self-explanatory, starts you off already as a vampire. Now if you use some of the really good vampire add-on mods that are available, this option can make that gameplay really, really fun. The cool thing is, you guys, you don't sparkle. Just saying. Alright, and then we have a Necromancer. Basically those for your caster-loving types who want to dive into the dark arts. This is a good start. You start, of course, as an apprentice in some nasty location somewhere that's probably not too pleasant, considering I don't think necromancy is very conducive to a clean living. And this is another magic start, a Warlock's Thrall. Maybe more demon involved than the undead. This is probably one of my absolute favorites. Attacked in Left 4 Dead. Basically, your caravan or traveling party was attacked on the side of the road, and everyone in your group is killed but you. You wake up after the battle. Everything's been stolen. You're wearing only the cheap little clothes on your back, you know, your basic merchant gear. And the starting location for this is random. It's all over the map. There's multiple different startings, even all the way in Solstheim to the Rift area, all the way to the far western reaches of Skyrim. And sometimes those starting areas can be so hard at level 1 to try to get the heck somewhere safe. You know, just to an inn or somewhere where you're not going to die viciously or by the weather. It's a really, really fun start. It's one of my favorite ones to do. You can also be Eric the Slayer's childhood friend. Now, those of you who don't know who Eric the Slayer is, I'm not going to ruin it for you. But those that you do will find this option hilarious. And it is pretty funny. And then, of course, if you just can't choose and you want the game to choose for you, you can have it surprise you. Yes, you can be surprised. And sometimes you end up very surprised. So, for an example, let's just go ahead and have it surprise us.
Leaving your life to chance, so be it.
So be it. Alrighty. Now, you may notice a very brief lag right after you choose your option. That's because the game is setting up your selection. It's not a huge lag, but if you try to move right after clicking, you may feel like you're walking through wet concrete. But with that chosen, let's go over here and go to the bed. If you want to see my guy real quick. Woohoo! Ain't I a handsome lad? No, not really. He's humongous and mean looking. Alright, and then you just go over to the bed here and activate it and you fall asleep. And when your selection then triggers. Oh boy, what's happening? Am I a vampire or a warlock? Looks like I'm a vampire because her eyes are glowing. Oh yeah, I'm a vampire. Not really something I enjoy playing, but there it is. And apparently you are allied with the vampires.
Yes.
It looks like some corpses. Hello.
Don't speak to me, meat.
Screw you then. I will steal your chest. What's in here? Ooh, holy crap. This is of course the product of the vanilla game still, because I haven't really modded the game all that much except for a few things like the alternative start mod and the UI. So I just have all kinds of goodies. Give them to me.
Don't speak to me, meat.
Shut up. I'll give you my meat. Wait a minute.
Yes.
No, I won't. No, I won't. So, I'm not going to zone out because I don't want to ruin where this cave is for people that want to start it out, because half the fun of these mysterious starts is not knowing where the devil you are. So, alright guys, let's try one more surprise me. Let's go ahead and just load back to, not to here. Wrong save. There we go. Pretend you didn't see that. I edited it out, but that was just too funny, so I just gotta leave it in. Alright, let's try this again. Activate.
Approach, my child, and choose where your new life shall begin.
Surprise me, dear
Leaving your
lady.
life to chance, so be it.
Yes, so be it. Beep. Alright, let's see where I end up. Will I end up in a harem somewhere? Oh, no, I'm in a room. Is this the Riverwood Tavern? It looks like it. No. Well, yes, no, no, it's not. Close.
The suffering the Daedra cause will not go.
Oh, okay, I'm
unpunished.
at a Temple of Stendar. Derp.
Wherever the Daedra hide, the Vigil of Stendar will.
So you're
cast
dressed
them into
up like a
light.
Stendar. You got some, what do you got? Starting gear here. Yeah, you got some steel cuff boots. So yeah, some of these starts have a few little starting perks to them, but honestly, not really a whole lot. And let me tell you guys, just with the optimized vanilla graphics and this EMB, look how nice everything looks. This is without any of the advanced texture mods or the interior lighting mods that I have yet to add. So overall, it
The
still
suffering
looks
the
great.
Daedra cause will not go unpunished.
Yes, you said that already, over and over and over again. I got it. I'm gonna go stand by the fire. Standing by the fire. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick peek into Alternative Start by Arthmoor. Please install this mod. You absolutely have to have it in your playthrough, every single one of them. You can do the vanilla start still if you want, but a little tip, if you're using Frostfall as well, do not activate Frostfall with the vanilla start until you are already off the wagon and you're inside of Helgen. The reason being is I found when I have Frostfall enabled that the thief guy that's with you in the wagon dies. Apparently he got really cold really fast and he just flatlines right there at the start. Now that kept happening to me. That won't necessarily happen to you, but it happened to me quite a bit. So it was kind of funny. That's just a little tip for you guys. Alright folks, this is Taylem, and I will see you in the next episode of the Skyrim modding series. Eventually I will come up with a better name and get a good intro going, probably after my modding setup is done and I start just doing regular mod reviews and compatibility checks. But I have to get better at it. Have a few ideas, so if anybody listening to this is an expert at the creation of introductions, please donate your time to me. I would appreciate it. Alright folks, I'll see you later.